Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night hump day. And this is Untethered Live, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson. I'll be with you for the hour. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, take your shoes off, take your clothes off. I don't care. Nobody's watching. I can't see you from this side. Be sure and say gold star to Bubby Watts. He got the first appearance. Welcome. Come on in. It's raining outside, and I got caught out in it. So here's the deal. I'm at work, and the power goes out. Apparently, a car hit a telephone pole in town, and it knocks the power out. But my bike has a dead battery because it's not charging because I got to put a new stator on it. So I can't go anywhere because I got to charge the bike to crank it so I can get going. Can't do that. So then it starts raining, pouring down rain. So I'm outside in the rain, waiting for them to get the power back on. I'll sit there for 2 hours in the dark until they finally got the power fixed. The power comes back on. I put the charger on, cranked the bike up, and then drove home in the rain. So I got a bath today, whether I needed it or not. But that's all right. I guess I needed it. Bubby Watts, Caucasian Sasquatch. What's up, fellas? Good to see you. I'm watching it right now, Bubby Watts, currently. I got about halfway through it, and I had to tap out. So I paused it, so I'm going to finish it tonight. I'll say this for it. It's boring. To be an Indiana Jones movie should not be boring. So, who knows? Who knows what those people are doing? All right, I turned it on. Oh, I see. Turned it back off. You're in South Carolina. Jeez, buddy. What are you doing in South Carolina? That's a good country down there, but why are you there? I've lost my mouse. There it is. Found it. What's going on in South Carolina that's got you over that way? I once walked there before, from your house to there. Actually, a little further than your house. I was on Panther Branch when I left. Oh, you're at the beach house. I got you. Jake, does being hit by the rain while riding your bike hurt? It can. I have a windshield, so that cuts a lot of the right in my face stuff out. But I also wear a half helmet. And if you're going about 45 miles an hour or above, it stings when it hits you. And if it's hard rain, like big drops, it can feel like needles in your face. Do you know why bikers don't smile? Because you might get bugs in your teeth. Your teeth become a grill at high speed, so you never smile because you get a bug in your mouth. That's right, bugs. I love South Carolina, says Bubby Watts. It's such an underrated state. There are nice parts of South Carolina, and their laws are kind of cool. But I've only lived there once for about 6 months, and I don't remember a lot about it. I was kind of young when we lived there. But I've been there, and I like the way they do things there. But I've never been all over the state. I was only in one place, so I don't know. There might be more beautiful places and more mountainous or whatever. Can't really remember what the terrain was like. I just remember it being green because it's right there by Georgia. So you still got that southern climate. I'm looking at a dual sports type bike, but I haven't really settled in any direction. I hear you, but there's nothing wrong with that. Some of those, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I assume it's like a trail bike. They're street bikes, but they're built for off-roading. So they got knobby tires, and they got places like hard bags where you can close them and keep dust and rain and stuff off of them. And they're not quite as comfortable as a touring bike, say. They're smaller, but still fast. And you might be into that. I prefer the layback, and tour kind of thing, like the old Fonzie bike. I prefer that. I don't like laying down on my motorcycles. That's why I don't have a Ninja. I did buy the Honda version of a Ninja when I was a kid. I had one of those. I was about 17. Interceptor is what it was. And I hated it. It was very uncomfortable and very fast. Scary fast. ATL, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Come on in. A state that I really want to visit is Montana. It has beautiful mountains and a great area. Yeah, Montana's pretty. Street trail bike. Yeah, I got you. Harley actually makes a pretty decent trail bike, but it's electric. I don't know if you're into that. What's happening tonight? You see it, buddy. Whatever you want to happen. I might play a little electric guitar for you guys. Or acoustic, if you wish. Jake, what's your favorite state, Georgia, that you visited? Well, it's a twofold answer. It used to be Georgia. Georgia's no longer the state that I grew up in. But, let's see. I guess I'd have to say Florida. It's flat. Everywhere is within walking distance, including the coast. And I lived a long time in Florida. But, I hate North Carolina. It's not the place, it's the people. Very cliquey here. Very highfalutin types that think they're highfalutin. They're not really highfalutin, but they kind of feel like they are. It's got that kind of snooty atmosphere around these parts. And I'm sure not all of North Carolina is that way, but where I've been, it has. But Kansas was nice. I liked Kansas. Very slow paced there. It feels like they're a few years behind in the times. Not by much, but like I went and rented movies while I was in Kansas, and they had movies on the new release wall that had come out 5 years ago on the East Coast. Whatever that says about the place. ATL says, hey, Caucasian Sasquatch, good to see ya. Sasquatch says, or an old Honda kind of cafe racer type. But before that, I know what you're talking about. I know what a cafe racer is, like with the long seat and the short handlebars. You kind of have to lean forward to ride it. Those are called, I can't remember what they're called. I guess they're racing bars. They're just straight across. I don't know. They have a name, but I can't remember. I like those handlebars on my Honda that I had, the one that looks just like my Harley. It's called an American Classic Honda Shadow. I think it was a Shadow. Whatever the ACE is, American Classic Edition. I think that's a Shadow. Anyway, it had racing bars on it, but they were elevated, so they had like a 6-inch lift on them, and then they went across, and I actually like that, as opposed to the ape hangers that are on my Harley. Well, I got the smallest ape hangers that you can have, but they're still, it's like riding like a beach bike, those big wheeled beach bikes with the big round seat. It's like that with the big handlebars, and it's kind of handles like that too. It's kind of off-putting a little. You got to get used to it for sure. But that Honda with the short, straight bars, all I had to do was just suggest, and it would go wherever I wanted it to. It felt like I was in it. The Harley feels like I'm on it. The Honda felt like I was in it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, but more upright. Yeah, I got you. I know what a cafe racer is. Bubby Watt says, I really love New Hampshire. I cannot wait to visit the state later this summer. I don't like anywhere where it snows a lot. All them upper Midwest places where it snows half the year, I'm not into that. I don't like cold weather. I like cold as in, cold enough I can wrap up in a blanket or have a fire. I don't like anything below zero. That's not me. I went to Minot, North Dakota for a couple of weeks to play with a band. And it It was in December. While I was up there, I nearly froze to death smoking a cigarette. I stepped outside. All the bandmates were asleep, and they all were wearing noise-canceling headphones because they all snore. I had my own room. I'm special. Anyway, I stepped out the back door, lit my cigarette up, and started smoking it, and the back door closed behind me and locked. And it was a big, heavy oak door. And I finished my cigarette, and I turned around and realized the door was locked, so I started trying to pick the lock, and I was getting colder and colder by the minute, and it got to where I couldn't use my hands. My hands were shaking, and I couldn't feel my hands. So I had a choice. I can kick the door in, or I can try to make it across the street to the store before I freeze to death, because I'm in a bathrobe and sweatpants outside, and I was literally getting tunnel vision. Like, I thought I was going to pass out, because that's how cold it was. So I kicked the door in. Bam! I had to go the next day, I had to go spend $100 to fix the door that I kicked in to keep from freezing to death. But that's how cold it is. You just like that, and you froze to death. Of course, there's guys that live there walking around in T-shirts. Go figure that. A mid-70s Honda type banana sort of seat. Yeah, the straight seat. That's like a CB 650 or something like that. That was my first motorcycle, was one of those with the long flat seat. And they don't make them like that anymore, and it was kind of bubbly looking. I think it was a 650 is what I had first. It was a smaller bike, but it could get up and go. I mean, I never had any trouble getting up to speed or anything. I rode on the highway with it, so. But it was way smaller than the bike I currently ride. You like fall weather is what you're saying. Yes, sir. I like fall weather. I like it to be cool, even cold a little. But that bones freezing and blood stop moving, that's too cold. ATL says, people hit the like button. Thank you, ATL. I need that, and please do. Hit that like button. It's free. And it shows that you support the channel. And also helps with the algorithm. Helps us get recommended. Which don't really work, so go figure. But hit it nonetheless. That's what we're here for. I would hit your like button. Hit mine. You can't beat a Honda, though. I'm talking totally against the way of thinking as for a Harley rider would think. But I'm telling you, a Honda is a good motorcycle. They hardly ever break down. You don't have to work on them. They run forever, and they are good running vehicles. As long as you keep oil in it, it's fine. And I tell you, now it's cheap, too. It's made out of plastic. There's no hardly any metal on it. Everything's plastic. Everything that looks metal is plastic. But they knew what they were doing when they designed that motorcycle. And I love it. I love Hondas. And I would own one right now, and I ride a Harley. So the only reason I bought a Harley is because it's American made, and I knew I could get parts for it if I needed to fix it. That's all. It was a financial decision to buy American. Now, that's a good bike, but I have to work on it like every year. If you don't work on a Harley, there's something wrong with it. You know what I mean? All the Hondas I've ever owned, I've never done a thing to any one of them. They just run. And I've owned a few. Never had to work on them. That thing, every year I got to do something. And it eats tires, by the way, but I think that's the tires. I'm buying the cheap ones because I ain't paying $200 for a tire. Oh, I know, Jake. When I was living in Indiana, that's a place I'd like to visit, I would just get terribly cold. My hands would just get really frozen within minutes. Yeah, I don't do well with cold weather. It makes me hurt too bad. But there's something about being out west, the elevation, or I guess that's what it is. You feel it differently. Like the heat and the cold feels different Midwest than it does here. So like in Arizona, you could be 150 degrees and about to die and not even realize it, not even be sweating. You could be like that close to a heat stroke and not even realize it because it don't feel hot, but it's really hot. And I was exaggerating the number, probably 110 degrees. But also with the cold weather out Midwest, you can tolerate it better. But I think it has to do with altitude or something like that. I don't really know because I ain't spent a lot of time out in those places, but I have visited them. And when I visited Kansas, it was not wintertime, so I don't know how cold it gets there. I got to imagine it probably snows there, though. I'm not a proud Hoosier. Indiana is not a fun state, if you ask me. I don't know. I've never been there. What's wrong with it? Been to Gators, says Kevin Cox. Had the captain's platter. It was pretty good. Hey, Kevin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. We're just talking motorcycles and random states. Dana, greetings. Welcome to the show, sweetie. Love the heart. This cup's for you. That's a good cup of coffee. How are things where you are? It's been raining like cats and dogs out here. You know how I know? Because I went outside and stepped right in a poodle. Because it's raining cats and dogs, I stepped in a poodle. It is cold here in Florida. A low 95 today. I had to put on a fur coat. Wow. A low 95. That is cold for Florida. Even in the wintertime, it's hot in Florida. For the most part. I think it gets down to like 13 degrees occasionally. That's the coldest part of winter. I have been cold in Florida, but not like cold here. Cold here, it always goes below zero. Well, not here, but up north. Uh-oh. My light's being screwy. I don't want green. What are you doing? Well, I guess that's off. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. It's gonna be a little darker today. I think my light's had it. Maybe I just need to mess with the cord on it or something. I don't know. We produce more ball sweat than any other state, says Kevin. I believe you. Bubby Watt says it's not like St. Louis or Detroit. Bad, but it's still a dangerous city. I got you. Ha raining cats and dogs. I'm learning that American slang. You got it. You understood it. My American slang is always on the sarcastic side. Walter, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I've been cold in the Keys. Wind howls across those islands. Yes, the wind is bad in Florida, and it will cut you to the bone in a cold day, but it's still not temperature-wise that cold. But it is, you feel it differently because of the humidity. You missed a message, Jake. I must have. Let me scroll back up and see what I missed. Bubby Watts, it's just a boring state, and Indianapolis is quietly one of the most dangerous cities in America. I got you. Not like St. Louis. I got you. I see what you're saying. Thank you. That happens. Walter says, before you go to Indiana, come to New Jersey and do a harbor concert. Well, I'll be glad to. But I have no designs to go to Indiana or New Jersey. And you would really, really have to be nice to me to get me to go to New Jersey, because there ain't nothing around New York that I'm interested in, except for you. You got a stage. Excellent. Well, I need power, too. And an audience would be nice. But if you get those two things, I'm on my way. Oh, and money. But we can get that from the audience, who will gladly pay for a show like mine. I bet I need to go up north more, actually, because they pay better up there. And it's a little bit of a ride for me, but for the money, it's almost worth it. Get my little 3-piece and go out touring. But yeah, Walter, if I ever do manage to get in that direction, I'll definitely stop and see you. New Jersey has a lot of good and bad. The farm is good, but the boat is good, but the cities suck. Yeah, I kind of figured as much. I know New Jersey's not a bad place, but it's definitely too close to New York. I think it's right across the water from it, ain't it? I don't know. I just assumed that. Isn't the Bronx close to New Jersey or in New Jersey? I don't really know. Jake, if you went as far as to perform in Madison, Madison Square Garden, you would do it. They'd have to pay me a lot of money. You're right, I'd do it. Newark, New Jersey. Okay. And that's not right there. Pennsylvania has a lot more good, but no beaches. Well, that suits me just fine. I don't care for the beach. The Bronx are in New York City. Okay, I thought they were in New Jersey. I guess just hearing people talk, is where I get that information from. I've never been there, so I don't really know. For some reason, I was thinking the Bronx was right there at New Jersey, like in between New Jersey and New York, like on both sides. I don't really know, though. I know Chicago used to be the place to go for blues music and that sort of thing, but that ain't a city I care to go to anymore. It's gotten pretty rough there. Manhattan is the borough closest to New Jersey. Okay. I thought Manhattan was an island. So I guess it's in between in the waterway, huh? Again, never been to New York. I don't know the topography. I'm just guessing. I know the names of the cities, but not exactly where they are in relationship to everything else. I know that New York is way bigger than New York City, which is where all the stuff happens that everybody talks about. So I know there's like upstate New York, and it's real country, and the Catskills are up there, and there's a lot of good Republican-type people up in that area. Not at all like the city part. I love talking about geography, says Bubby Watts. Well, maybe you can straighten me out and tell me where things are, because I'm not very good with it. Actually, let me check, says Bubby Watts. I don't really know. One of these days I might ride through there. You plan to go to New Orleans? I've been there. I used to live in the French Quarters right there in New Orleans. Right above a crawfish restaurant. There was an apartment above that, and they had live music all the time. I remember seeing all the people out on the streets playing saxophones and trumpets and so forth on every street corner. It was lovely. No cobblestone streets. This was before Katrina, so I was about maybe 10 or 12 years old. I'll go see you there. The town earns its name, the Big Easy. Yeah, it used to. I don't know what it's like now. I know they revamped everything after Katrina. That's my favorite city. Google Maps. I got you. What am I looking at? This your town? Nope, this is North Carolina. Oh, you're Google mapping me. You'll never find me. Why are you mapping me? It must have just popped up because of where I'm at. It must have the location on or something. It didn't show me anything but where I'm at. Anyway, I'll look at it later. So that's when the hookers were still naked on the streets. Yes, I remember that too. Good times. All you had to do was have a set of beads, get flashed every time. People really love Mardi Gras. And we lived there through one Mardi Gras, so I remember the parade lasted 2 or 3 days. Bubby, where are you? says Walter Davis. Floridian. Wait, what? It's supposed to be New York City. Well, it showed me a map of where I'm at. So maybe it's just because I got location on or something. I don't know. It didn't show me New York. But I can look it up. I'll look it up later. Oh, yeah, Jake, you have your location thingy on. Yep. See, that's probably what it was. I'm not hard to find. You could do the Google Earth thing and look right down on top of my house. All you'll see is trees and maybe a truck or something, but I'll even tell you where it's at. Montana, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, MVTV. Good evening. Bubby Watts says, I'm in Florida, Walter. A bunch of Floridians in here. A couple of Montanians. Bubby, you near Hobe Sound? I have an uncle there. Hobe Sound or Hobie? Or Hobby? No, that'd be two B's, wouldn't it? Walter says, hey, Montana. How's the weather where you're at, MVTV? It's been a steady drizzle here. A little bit of thunder and lightning. Check this out. Somebody gave me that the other day. MVTV says, very nice. Rain for crops. Now, warming up nicely. Bubba Watts says, no offense. Caucasian says, MVTV. What are you offending people about there, Bubba Watts? Oh, I'd rather not give out my location. Well, I'd rather you not, too. Florida's good enough. We get an idea. You're in the mullet of the United States. Anyway, I got two guitars. This is one of them. Notice the P90s. Beautiful. Great sounding guitar. It is an Epiphone Les Paul Special. That means it's thin and it doesn't have the block inlays and it doesn't have binding. So it's just a piece of wood. So it's kind of like a Telecaster. And it plays pretty decent. It's got a kind of a flat neck, kind of a wide neck. So I'm not quite used to that yet, but it plays well, so sounds good. See what I mean? And the fact that the dude gave it to me blew me away. He gave me two guitars. The other one's a Stratocaster copy, made in China or something. But it's not a bad guitar, especially for a beginner. And he gave me the amp that I'm currently playing on, which is a little Powell Pro, little practice amp. And he gave me a leather jacket and a helmet. Pretty cool helmet. And the leather jacket's exactly like the one I got, except mine's made out of buffalo and that one's made out of leather. Y'all want to hear some jamming? Ow! Look at that. Walter says, nice. I saw a small acoustic guitar, very old, with palm trees on it. It was at a vendor stand at a farmer's market. I think it was a national. I have to look it up and maybe grab it. Yeah, man, always good instruments if you can find them. Older the better. Sasquatch says, I should be home by Friday. I was thinking about doing a little look at some Edge of the World accounts. I don't know what that means. Edge of the World accounts. Kevin says, night, Jake. Are you leaving us, buddy? You just got here. Where's my April at tonight? Anyway, I hope you have a good night. I hope you're happy. Let me turn this filter off so you can hear my guitar. What you guys want to hear? Just some jamming? How about some Leonard Skinnerd? Hey, rock on. What's up, Smoking Auditor? Good to see ya. April, there you are, sweetheart. I was beginning to wonder if you was coming. Thought you forgot about me. Been feeling left out lately. Forgot about. But no more. I'm gonna let that little shaggy brown-haired boy pick that Tennessee flat top box. Free bird. I knocked it out of tune. Hang on. I remember. If I leave it tomorrow, would you still remember me? I must be traveling on now. There's so many places I've got to see. But if I stay here with you, girl, would things still remain the same? 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now. You damn right I am. And this bird can never change. Oh, and this bird can never change. And this bird will never change. Oh no, I can't change. love, it's been a good time. I hope you don't feel no shame. You know what I'm talking about. And please, oh, please don't take it badly. Oh, no. Because you know that I'm to blame. It was only one night, but it was my fault. But if I stayed here with you, girl, would things still remain the same? 'Cause I'm as free as a bird. Now, how about you? And this bird can never change. Oh, and this bird can never change. And this bird can never change. Oh, no, I can't change. Won't you fly, free bird? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it, because I ain't going to get into that 17-minute ending. But there you go. By request, Freebird, Leonard Skinner. What I miss? Everybody saying, hello, Freebird. Here you go. It's on the house. You want two of them? Bubby White says, hey, April, how are ya? Smoking Auditor says, rock on. April, Auditor, says Davis. Smoking, hey, bud, says Caucasian. Freebird, says Walter. Whew. Caucasian love. Bubby Watts, good to see you. Hi, everyone, says April. That's a lighter. That says Walter. April says, Walter, much love. Heart. Smoking Auditor says, hi. Walter Davis. Hi, Sasquatch, says Smoking Auditor. Hi, Jake Love. Smoking Auditor, good to see you, says April. Hello back. Smoking Auditor says, hi, April Rain. How's everybody doing, asks April. Smoking Auditor says, how's everyone doing? April says, LOL. Walter says, April, tough couple of days, but good right now. All well with you. Very nice there, Walter. Great wedding song, LOL. No, it's a breakup song. He's leaving her in the dust because, you know, he can't be tied to no one woman. He's got to rock out. April says, yes, I'm doing good, love. Thanks for asking, hon. April says, LOL, Walter. Caucasian says, you know, they talk about dog men and strange folks of strange lands. I don't know who they are, but they talk about a lot of things. Walter says, I was in a bar a long time ago. Me too. This couple was arguing about what their wedding song should be. She wanted Heard It in a Love Song. Heard it in a love song. Can't be wrong. Heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. Can't be wrong. Yep, that's a good one. But he did not. She never listened to the words. Smoking Auditor says, I'm not as free as a bird, but I'm almost as high as one. Ha ha. Walter says, so you identify as a free bird flying high. Cool. April says, thanks, Jake. You're welcome. Thanks for what? I'm good, Bubby Watts. Love, and how are you and everyone here doing, says April. Asks April. Walter says, the first time I got married, my friends played the wedding song, the only song everyone playing knew was Bobby McGee. Not Billy McGee, Bobby McGee. Yeah, that marriage didn't last. True story. Busted flat in Baton Rouge. Bobby sang the blues. I don't remember the song, but it's good enough for me. Na 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 Bobby McGee. That's all I can remember. Smoking Otter just says, Walter Davis, I don't identify as anything but what you see on the surface. Other than that, I'm a little shallow at times. That's a deep subject for a shallow well. Anyway, what do you guys think about this little guitar? It's pretty sweet. I can't wait to hook it up to the Marshall and play it in a live setting, though. Them P90s are rocking. These are P90s. Soap bar pickups. This is the only guitar I have that have P90s on them, and I like them so far. Most of what I use, most of my guitars have EMG pickups. Active pickups with batteries so that they're hotter, and they're made for playing metal. But I play like southern rock and country and blues on them, but they got that metal spirit, so I kind of get that Metallica sound out of them. I dig that. But these, there's like a old school sound that they make, and I love them. I've never used them before, so it's kind of cool that he gave me this guitar. And I'm enjoying playing it. I just got to do some work on it because it ain't quite up to my standards yet. But a free guitar is a free guitar. I'll gladly do the work because it's not a bad guitar. It just needs some fret job done. It needs to be polished and made sure all the frets are level. I need to do a little adjustment to the neck and put some decent tuners on it so it'll stay in tune, and she'll be ready to rock and roll. Not bad. This is about a $4.99 guitar. It's kind of middle of the road. It's not a great guitar, but it's not a cheap one either. It's kind of right in the middle. I hadn't looked at the prices recently, but the last time that I looked, they were about $4.99. They may have gone down or up, who knows. But this one seems to be rather well made, and it's made out of something that's not mahogany. It's kind of light. Might be basswood, however you say it. It's kind of light. It's the lightest guitar I own. Smoking Otter says, I'm doing well, April. I did have a little long day at work, but it's over with now. Now I get to sit back and enjoy some music. I had a rough day at work today, too. I got caught with the power off, and it was raining, and my boss left, so I was there waiting for the power to get cut back on because I got to charge my bike because the battery's dead. So I have to charge the bike to crank it up. Can't do that if the power's off, so I sat there in the rain for about 2 hours. Not the best day, but it's all good now because I'm with you guys. And if you guys want to hear any particular thing, just holler it out and I'll play it. I'm driving, y'all. I'll be back soon to chat, but I'm listening, says April. By the way, can you guys hear the guitar all right? Is it too loud? Or not loud enough? Play me a song, Jake. Sure. What song would you like for me to play you? Sounds great, says Walter. Thank you. Dana says, hi, Smoking Auditor. Surprise you, I don't know that song. Smoking Order says, yes, please concentrate on the road. I allegedly have a bad habit of trying to stay in chat while driving. It's not good. ringneck pheasant I began feeding with this winter. The ringneck pheasants I began feeding this winter now come over at least 3 times a day. Out there now. Big bird. That's cool, man. Kind of like my cats. Waiting for something to catch my eye. What you mean there, buddy? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This world's ain't no home anytime she goes away. I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone for good. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This world's ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 yeah, all the little young girl alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she is gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. My voice is giving out already. Oh, anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anytime she goes away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anytime she goes away. Yeah, yeah. All right. Walter says, looking for a rock and roll vision. That's when the firewoman caught my eye. I got you. MVTV says, smoking auditor, greetings. Walter Davis says, she moves like time. She walks like she owns the air. That's terrifying. What kind of woman does that? Smoking auditor says, LOL, MVTV. Is it my imagination? Or did you add temp to the beginning of your name? Could be. Walter says, know that song, Jake? I do not. MVTV says, Walter, that reminds me of a certain 1970s album cover from the Ohio Players with Fire as the lead cut. Cool. Had a naked lady with a fire hose. Enough said. Wow. That's interesting. Walter Davis says, that song almost got a friend signed with a record deal a few times, but he was too messed up to hold a conversation. That's terrible. I've had similar problems, but it wasn't because I was messed up. It's because I was loyal. I was actually offered a record deal by Epic Records and Curb Records, both. But they just wanted me, not my band. So the idea was I leave the band and go do whatever they want me to do the way they want me to do it. And I was like, well, my band is the sound. That's what made me who I am. That's why I'm good, because of them. If I go, they go. And I thought they would think about it for a little while and come back to the table and negotiate. I was incorrect. They left town and never looked back, and I lost that opportunity. Great job, Jake. Love you. I'll be right back. Thank you, April. But the joke's on them. I have my own record label now, so I can release anything I want to release anytime I want to release it, and it's free because it belongs to me. It's not going to go anywhere, but it's mine nonetheless. MVTV says, I hijacked my old Haunted Marysville channel, jammed on the avatar, changed the name, and still able to post if you see. If few see. Still able to post if few see. Keeps the computer free. I got you. Great song, Jake. Thank you, Bubby Watts. That's a little Bill Withers tune called Ain't No Sunshine. Let's see here. What else we got? Kind of weird playing an electric guitar by myself. A little bit loud. Put it in a link, Jake. Put what in a link? Haven't been able to find much of you on the interwebs. Go to youtube.com/UntetheredLive and look through there. You'll find lots of me playing around. Nothing good, you know. Just jamming. It's hard to... I don't have a team anymore, so it's hard for me to film me playing, you know, live. It's a little different than just jamming out. Most of the guys I play with that are on YouTube are beginners or not really part of my band, so it's all kind of just thrown together right there on the spot. But there's some pretty decent stuff up there. So entertaining stuff anyway. I think unsigned independent is the way to go. I agree. Here, the real problem is it costs something to be famous. And I ain't willing to pay that price. So, I guess fame ain't in my future. It almost was, though. I have been on the same sign with some famous people, my name. But that was then. This is now. And now I'm just YouTube famous. Not even close. I can put together a backup band for you if you get up here. I hear you. Well, I have my own, but if you want to put together some guys, we'll make it happen. Need a drummer and a bass player is all I need. Well, I hear that train a-comin', rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sun shining, I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps dragging by. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. Well, when I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't never play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. How about that? Anyway. Walter Davis says, I got to get together with my sisters. One has a natural amphitheater and the other is a promoter. Get them both together when they're not mad at each other. I got you. Sarah has the land. Lisa makes nobodies. Lisa make nobodies into somebodies fast. Well, I need one of those for certain. Because I am a nobody, but I used to be a somebody, and I could be a nobody again because I got marketable skills, but currently I'm a nobody. If you follow me. I do need one of those. Be nice. But, you know, up until recently I was daddy, so I was raising youngins, and I couldn't go out. Now they're grown, so here I is, ready to rock and roll. If anybody wants a over 40 rock and roller. Which there's market for that in the local region. Nobody's going to let a over 40 guy be famous. You know, there's no national. That's out. That's not going to happen. But locally, there's no reason I can't make a good living doing what I do. And that's kind of the plan from now on. I'm realistic about the fact that I'm too old to make it, so I'm not trying for that anymore. I used to try for that. And like I said, I got close, but close only counts if you're throwing hand grenades. But now I'm just concentrating on playing locally. And by locally, I mean sub-regionally. I can travel to Florida. I can travel up, you know, whatever. April says, yes, I do love you. Do you now? Well, I love you. It sounded like a threat, didn't it? Well, I'm glad you love me, and I love you back. What do you guys want to talk about? Sky's the limit. Anything goes. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anything goes. But it is 9:30, so how about this? Hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online and when new videos drop. Smash that like button. It's right in front of you, and it's free and it's effortless, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms. Helps us get recommended to other people, so once you do that, please share this video with somebody you like. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't like. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, yeah, you. If you dig what you're seeing tonight and you want to help out, if you feel led to help this channel grow and be prosperous in any way, shape, or form, and you want to support my work, you can do that by going to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband. Or if you're a CashApp user, $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It is needed, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will do everything in my power to be worthy of that support. It's a blessing for me, but it's a blessing for you too, because God notices these things, and I greatly appreciate all of your support. And also, go over to rumble.com/UntetheredLive and hit the follow button over there, because on Friday nights, we do some stuff over there that cannot be seen on YouTube. It's too hot for YouTube. So if you want to see it, rumble.com/UntetheredLive. And with that, I will take all of your questions and comments. Thank you, Bubby Watts. I appreciate you. I like your theory, Walter. Nice. Walter says, I'm the black sheep of the family, and everyone needs me, but no one cannot have me help them. And every one of the 6 siblings says they want to do what I want, but won't. Interesting. Well, you'd be surprised. Coming from an actual black sheep, I would say you may not be a black sheep. You could be, but black sheeps usually don't have siblings that care about them a whole lot. Bubby Watts says, don't forget Jake on Rumble. That's rumble.com/UntetheredLive. And hit the follow button. April says, hit that like button, everybody. Sub, share, and be sure to support Jake in any way by being here. It's a blessing. Much love. I am. You are. Lisa Reen, what's happening, sweetheart? Welcome to the show. I made it here. I made it in for the tail end. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lisa Reen. I'm glad you're here. Walter says, I am a foster parent, and they all say, save the kids, but not us. Someone needs to be around Mom, right? But we are too busy. You get it. I get it. April says, true. Temp MVTV says, for your info, I get email notifications whenever you upload on Rumble. Uploads on Rumble. Sounds like something unpleasant, eh? Well, I'm glad you get notifications. That's a good thing. But for those who have not followed me yet, they need to hit the follow button, so they need to go over there. But you are in control. You know exactly when I'm on Rumble, don't you? You're watching me. I got you. Walter says, I went to jail for stuff my brothers did. Yeah, no one remembers that. Huh? Well, that's a good brother. That's what a good brother does. I'm proud of you for that. April says, hi, Lisa Reen. Good to see you. And April says, I do too. Walter says, hey, Lisa Reen. Well, you know, a good brother will take the fall for the younger brother or the younger sibling, because that's what good brothers do. And there ain't no wrong in that. That makes you top notch in my book. I've done time for people too. Because I wouldn't spill the beans. Because when they got you, but they ain't got no proof of anything else. It's up to you to tell them, and I ain't telling them. You do your job. So that's happened. But it's a rare thing these days. Loyalty is hard to find. And if you stumble upon it, hang on to it with both hands, because you might not find it again. Loyalty is a plus that's becoming a much rarer commodity than it used to be. Loyalty, honesty, and integrity. Those are the things that doesn't seem to be being made anymore. I don't know. Gen Z might surprise me, but I hadn't seen a lot of hopeful things recently. It's actually kind of scary, this old world. MVTV says, I've only done time for my acts, but got away with a lot more, right? I get away with everything I do. I get in trouble for what other people do. My brother is a hedge fund manager now, worth millions. The other did great financing, building projects. Would not have happened with a record. True. Well, you certainly did a good job by protecting them, Walter. April says, absolutely, clap, clap, 100, I agree. I agree. Lisa Reen says, I went to jail in Liberty, Texas for selling magazines door to door. Wow, that's terrifying. You criminal, you. I fought the law, but the law won. I fought the law, but the law won. I fought the 30-30, always winning. Yeah, I fought the 30-30, always win. I've been doing a thing and I come around, come out swinging. I don't know the words. That's a good song, though. MVTV says, join the club, Walter. Supposedly, I had $120,000 trust fund cut. Heard about it all my life. Big carrot, but zero clue when or how. Sick of hearing about it. OMG, really? Magazines, says April? Magazines. She's that kind of crook. Twisted, sick, perverted, evil behavior. Lisa Reen, you should be ashamed of yourself. Bubby Watt says, I have a clean record so far. in my life. Thank God. You keep your nose clean there. You're a young buck and you got your whole head of life ahead of you, so you stay out of trouble. You don't need none of that mess. Don't listen to us old outlaws. I've been in trouble a bunch in my life, but it's always been in the pursuit of knowledge. There's no liberty in Liberty. I hear you. I've never been to Liberty or any part of Texas other than Dallas. I kind of was on my way to Oklahoma. I went through Texas, through the Panhandle. I saw Dallas over there, but I didn't actually go into Dallas. April says, LOL, Jake. That's great, Bubby Watts. Me too, hon. You got a record. What are you talking about? You've been in trouble before, April. I tried to make a case about, let's see, MBTV says, I tried to make a case about now sitting on a freaking farm and unlimited potential. What's the point if I cash out in my late 60s when the time is now? No use debating bricks. I agree. Walter says, selling door to door is a serious thing. What makes you think working hard is okay? You think you're special? April says, no, I don't have a record. Maybe I got it for both of us. I've been in a lot of trouble, but I never really did anything wrong, you know. Somehow that doesn't make sense, but it's true. I've never, got caught shoplifting or anything like that, except for when I was a kid, maybe. Candy or a toy or something, but not anything serious. Never murdered anybody, never been breaking and entering or anything like that. Most of what I've been in trouble for is stuff like driving with an invalid tag or suspended license or, that sort of thing. I've done a little bit of time for theft, but it was somebody else that did the stealing. I just didn't do the talking, so I got in trouble for it. And, that sort of thing. Couple of domestic violence cases. I'm a little bit hot-headed. So, in my mind, I'm going to do everything I can to reason with a person until they cross a line. And when they cross a line, I feel like I got no choice but to whip that ass. Well, apparently you're not supposed to do that. And I've been in trouble for that a couple times. In my younger days. I'm a little old now to be throwing fisticuffs, but don't think I won't. You see that? That's hail, fire, and brimstone right there. You see that? I'm scared of that one myself. Had to cloud up rain all over you. I look mean, don't I? I'm not. I have what they call RBF, resting bitch face. This is what it is. I can't help that. I didn't give it to me. There it is. If you can't read it, that's your problem, not mine. Right? Right. Okay. What about you, Dana? You been in any trouble with the law? Are you still with us? Probably the worst thing I did is go over the speed limit by 5 miles, as Bubby Watts. You criminal, you. You stay clean. You don't need to get in no trouble. You just keep your nose in them books and you'll be fine. You got a whole life ahead of you. April says, LOL, ha 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 ha. MVTB says, I've had 3 felony arrests, 8 misdemeanors, 3 with weapons involving last Friday in the court at Lewis and Clark County and dropped my charges on violating a restraining order. Ooh. Which is normal in Florida, right? That's like Tuesday. Resting bitch face, LOL. Well, that's what I got. Dana says, no, I have never been in trouble with the law. Well, that's good. She's the one you got to look out for. MVDV says, I have no official record, but all the dismissed charges still somehow show up if needed. It seems to be that way, doesn't it? I got clocked doing 155 one time and was still speeding up. Walked away without a ticket. Crazy story. Walter, slow your butt down, boy. Bubby Watt says, it's best to not get in trouble this day and age, 'cause nowadays everyone will know about it. True. There are no secrets in a small world, and we live in a smaller and smaller world every year. Pretty soon, you ain't going to have no privacy at all, and people will be able to read your mind. You won't even be able to lie to them. That might be a good thing. Who knows? But I'm in favor of anonymity and privacy. Isn't that the truth, says April. Mm-hmm. However, sometimes you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's through no fault of your own, but you get roped up into something, and next thing you know, you're in handcuffs and being taken to jail. I've had that problem. Walter says, as another time, we outran a helicopter. Out. Wow. How do you outrun a helicopter? It flies very fast. MVTV says, my record was 13 officers with guns aimed at me. All a big misunderstanding, fellas. Mm-hmm. Outran the cop cars. Don't do that. And they put up a helicopter and outran it too. Wow. Yeah, don't run from the law. I learned the hard way. One time I was driving down the road and I had a bad tag and no license. And I come over this bridge, like a little, one of those little canal type bridges. And a cop was passing me, and I looked up in my rearview mirror, and he hit his brakes, and I was like, oh, crap, he's going to turn around. So I just floored it, and I took off down the road, and I made a right turn on the Indian Trails Road, which is off of Highway 24 in Sandersville, Georgia, and I went barreling down that road at about 200 miles an hour, wind whipping, dust everywhere, and I got away clean. And my dumbass stopped at my cousin's house, went down a path because I thought, he's not going to come on private property looking for me because he's going to think I'm gone. Well, he came straight to me, and he come up and knocked on the door, and I answered the door, and he said, yep, you got a purple hat on, and he grabbed me by the neck and hit me right between the eyes with a billy club, and that was that. He beat me all the way to that car and threw me in. He beat me so bad that they let me out of jail because it was cruel and unusual punishment for my swollen face to be stuffed in that jail all day long. Broke a couple teeth. It was bad. Anyway, I learned not to run from the law. How about that? Wow, he says, April. There's a lot of these prankster YouTubers now, and they'll be filming everyone and harassing them and possibly ruining their life, but they also might save your life. Some of those YouTubers are catching the cops doing bad things. It's got to the point where I don't want to leave my house, says Bubby Watts. Well, that's true. Yeah, you're probably better off staying at home. MVTV says, I was in a cafeteria line once. I sat on the pole fence thing. It fell over, and my foot jammed in a cop's holster standing next to me. Total chaos followed. Lucky I didn't get shot. Yes, you are. You don't mess with a cop's gun for no reason, even by accident. I outran lots of cops. They are not that hard to figure out. Dana says, many people think in the line of legal or illegal. Many people think along the lines of legal or illegal. I'm thinking in the line of right or wrong, and there are very stupid things which are being labeled as legal. And you're right, Dana. There's a lot of that. The Bible says to render unto God what is God's and render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And that means follow the law unless it conflicts with God's law, and then you follow God's law. And sometimes that'll get you in trouble because sometimes man's law is in direct opposition to God's law, but you are to not break God's law because man can put you in jail, but God can put you in hell. And you don't want that. And by hell, I mean the lake of fire. MVTV says the cops screaming, what are you doing? while my head is bouncing off tile, upside down. Partner has his gun out, trying to get a bead. He's going for your gun. It's terrifying. With his feet. He's going for your gun with his feet. People are screaming, running, trays crashing, tables knocking over, and my foot is completely stuck, still upside down, fighting myself. Sigh. That sounds like a cartoon there, MVTV. I'm glad you made it out of that okay. Walter says, I chased down a cop one time. Took about an hour to run him off the road. Yeah, almost got shot that time. Are you serious? Or are you just making stuff up? Because that ain't funny. April says, I agree, Bubby Watts. Bubby Watts says, I always change my behavior when a cop is around. Me too. Dana says, for example, murdering the innocent little babies is legal. My question is it right or is it wrong? Well, murder is wrong. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill. That word in Greek is phonios, which means criminal homicide, which means to lie in wait or make plans with Planned Parenthood. It's illegal. That's also sacrificing a baby to Baal. It's the same exact practice. It's sacrificing the child for the benefit of the parent. That's not good. And those people are going to pay for it. Believe that. You don't get away with anything in this world. You just think you do. But you will be standing before the Almighty one day, and he will judge you for your actions. And if it was your decision, you got hell to pay. You, meaning people in general, not you personally. I like most cops, says Walter. I never got along with the bullies. Yeah, me too. Yes, it did, MVTV love, says April. Me either, Walter, says April. MVTV says, 3 times cops just let me go when by all rights I should have been arrested. Once, even when I tried to flee and then gave up. They took my gun, cause of call, and let me go. California Highway Patrol. Chips. Da, 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 da. Dana says, of course it is wrong to kill. That's right. And I'm glad that you know that. And there's a lot of young people out here being convinced that it's not murder because they're being convinced that that's not a life. However, according to the Bible, life begins at conception. And I believe that. And I think there's no evidence to prove otherwise. So it is murder. As bad as that feels. Sorry. Walter says, I'm serious. I'm not a liar. I've been dead a few times and should have been a few more times. God's got a reason I'm here. Amen, brother. And I never called you a liar. I was just asking. Just asking. Because, running a cop off the road ain't funny. April says, I agree. It's legal for many reasons. Rape or high risk, etc. Well, yeah, that's the reasons they give. I don't agree with them, but that is the reasons they give for the legality of that particular thing we're talking about. April says, amen, Walter. However, there are lots and lots and lots of people out there dying to have a child and can't. Why not just give it to them? Deliver and run. Much better on the baby. I don't understand any reason why you wouldn't do that unless your life is in danger. And that I understand. Because you can make more babies, you can't make more of you. MVTV says that trap snake incident was more than it looked. I saw it as my duty to help the thing because it needed it. And I was there. By the way, not a rattler, by the way, but I got a lot of guff for not just shooting it. Well, no guff given. You had your reasons, I'm sure. Walter says, some of the things I say I did or when I've been, people don't believe me. Well, running a cop off the road sounds outlandish. That's why. But I believe you. Sure. I've done some crazy things too. April says, that's what I mean. Yep. Dana says, they have been convinced that it is legal to kill and slaughter. The world is upside down. Evil is called good and good is called evil. Wow. Yes, we are in the upside down. That is the domain of the devil. Everything is upside down. Everything is backwards from what it should be. That's just the nature of the world we live in. We live in a fallen world. And that's why the Bible tells you that you're not of this world. You're in it, but you're not of it. So your job is to wait and weed through it until you get to the end, and then you'll be all right. But while you're here, you have a decision to make. Follow God or follow Satan. Very simple decision to make, but you got to make it. And you're in the right place, and that's evidence of the decision you've made. So you're good. April says, well, I believe you, Walter. Sorry for the typos. Just stay humble, Dana. Live, love, follow God, and support it. That's right. That's right, April. I always say that we're in a spiritual war, and there's some fighting to be done. But if you can't fight, you can carry bullets. And if you can't carry bullets, you can make sandwiches or, something. But be part of the fight. Don't just let it wash over you. Don't just hide. Stand up and be who you are and be proud of it. That's what we're doing here on this channel every Sunday and Monday night. We're fighting that battle one word at a time, one truth at a time, and I need every hand on deck. I cannot do it without you, and you cannot learn it without me unless you go learn it without me, and then I'm not necessary. So there you go. I'm just a middleman, but I'm a convincing and good middleman, so that's what you got to have. You can do it by yourself, but ain't it nicer to watch me do it? MBTV says, Walter, I have a manuscript called Tales from the Cosmic Comedy about my BS, and other than fear of jinxing things, it's beyond belief. Just coincidences, if not grandeur. I'd be interested in reading that, Walter. I mean, MVTV. Send me a copy of it if you have one. April says, yes, lots of hieroglyphics. There's a surprised heart, a prayer, and a heart bouncing another heart, and a heart with stars in it. Yes. Walter says, I have had dinner in nice restaurants with congressmen and their families when I was a kid. The congressmen's kids and wife were as refined as the people coming back from the bar at the Waffle House. I believe that. At 3 o'clock, after the bar's closed, says Walter. Be careful for what you wish for, Jake. Or be careful of that. Be careful for that of what you wish, Jake. I'm always careful. And I'm always very clear in my speech. You're not going to catch me on no Faustian deal. Dana says, exactly. Stand strong. No fear. Do not lose integrity, honor, dignity, or decency. We are not of this world. Amen, sister. And I try very hard to be that. I try to lead by example, and I try to make clear everything we read. Sometimes it gets a little fuzzy, but anytime you question anything I'm saying, just tell me and I will slow down and break it down even further. If there's something you don't understand or if something you want to understand, that's what I'm here for. When the people are a mess and they are running the country, it's a problem, says Walter. Well, they just found cocaine in the White House, if that'll tell you anything. I mean, like recently, this week. Kind of makes you wonder who did that. It's not like I can think of anybody who's recently been charged with, convicted with, or had a video of that person doing cocaine who was involved in the White House. Can't think of who it might be. But they found some nonetheless. Exactly, Jake. Thank you, Walter. April says, I'm not surprised. Me neither. Total non-shocker. That what? People in the White House are doing cocaine? Have you seen any of those people? Look at Karine Jean-Pierre, or whatever her name is. That is the dumbest person I've ever seen walk the face of this earth, and clearly on something. Bubby Watt says, all righty, Jake. I'm about ready to go to bed. Thanks for the stream. See you on Friday on Rumble. April says, of course. Thank you, Bubby Watts. Thanks for being here, buddy, and thanks for showing up first. You get the gold star for tonight. I love you. Have a great night, and I'll see you Friday on Rumble. Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Walter says, yeah, that guy who has to stay out of trouble so his 20-year gun charge will go away. Yeah, he's the only guy in America that can get caught on a gun charge and get away with it scot-free. If that happened to me, I'd be in prison right now. Of course, if I did half of what he's done, I'd be in prison right now. We definitely have double standards when applying the law. April says, Bubby Watts, much love, hon. Sweet dreams and God bless. MVTV says, just imagine the narcotic cocktails they inject the big buffoon with when he has to look alive more than 10 minutes. I know, I've often wondered about that. He's never lost his voice, and he's always alert enough to stand there. They're shooting him up with something. Rumble won't show me subscriptions. I have to search you to view you, Jake. Are you doing it through a phone, Walter? If so, go to the Play Store or the App Store if you're using an Apple and download the Rumble app. Make sure it's the most recent one. And then sign up with that and subscribe, or sign in with that and subscribe, and it'll give you, when you get there, right beside the follow button, there's a little bell icon. Click that bell icon and click all, and you'll get notifications when I'm on. That's on the app. And if you're using a laptop, just go to UntetheredLive. Go to rumble.com/UntetheredLive. When it pops up, click the follow button, and you're good. Dana says, tough times make a man strong. Good times makes a man weak. Tough times are character builders. That's true. When there ain't nothing to fight for, you get mushy. And everybody is guilty of that. However, if you stay in shape, mentally or physically, when the fight comes, you'll be ready for it. April says, yes, you'll have to download the app. Yeah, but it's very light. It doesn't take up a lot of space. MVTV says, I'm so disgusted with our so-called leaders. Interesting times are nice, but would rather not have to tolerate historic disgraces. Amen, MVTV. And there's a lot of that going on, too. And believe me when I tell you that for all the naysaying that the left has done about Donald Trump, and for all the mouthing that he's done, and he is a mouth, I'll give you that. He's arrogant, and he talks a lot of trash. But none of this stuff was happening while he was in office. We weren't at war. And nobody, all the leaders of the other countries were in line. And nobody was laughing at us in that way. They were laughing at him, but they weren't laughing at America. They were scared of America, which is where they should be. And I missed that. And plus, our president, 45, walked across the DMZ without an escort, without military support, and without a bodyguard, and held his hands up like this in front of Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un said, this man crazy. We're going to play ball. He's like, no big deal. My wall's bigger. And then turned around and left. That he should have won a Nobel Peace Prize for, because no other president has even suggested doing something like that. He walked into a militarized zone by himself to prove that he's man enough. And he got that guy's respect for whatever that means. That's a big deal in my book. That's like history stuff, and they should write about it. Walter says, yes, I am. Yes, I am downloading the app from Google Play and get notifications after the fact. Well, hang in there, buddy. Rumble is recently developing. You know, they're putting a lot of money into it, but it's gonna, as time goes, it's gonna get better and better and easier. Just hang in there. They got a lot of work to do, but they're getting there. When I say man, I mean mankind. Yes, in the Star Trek sense of the word. I get you. Walter Davis says, God help our crooks in Washington. If I ever go to the doctor and he says it's terminal, it's for them too. Well, I hope you never get that kind of news from a doctor. MVDV says, and now everybody is on screens. Challenges and work are considered racist, out-of-date capitalist oppression. Trophies are handed out for participation. Criticism is offense. Enough. I agree, MVTV. We live in a crazy world that has gone soft and completely wacko. But there are still enough of us out there that we could change that. We all just got to stand up and say enough. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't care what your gender is. What you decide to do with yourself and your body is your business, and I support that. It's when you tell me that I have to change my reality that we have a problem. If I have to support you, you have to support me. And I don't believe in that nonsense. So I have a right to that. You can have a right to whatever you want, but don't try to change me. If we all do that, it'll end soon enough. Walter says, that was an awesome moment. Yes, it was. Talking about Trump going across the DMZ. And I'm glad he did that because he showed that he's got moxie that none of the others have. Because you think Biden would ever do that? No, he won't even go to the border of our country. MVDV says, if this country is ever truly challenged, half the sheeple will just collapse. If this country was ever truly challenged, half the people would just collapse sobbing, and I agree with you there. They don't, very many of us have the wherewithal to survive real struggle. But some do. Thanks, April, for putting that link up. Try that, Walter. You'll need to create another sign-in account. Okay, just follow the prompts, says April. Walter says, I'm not big on that compliance thing. God's law rules man's law. Isn't nothing. Ask Hunter. God's rule, not man's law. Just ask Hunter. He'll tell you. You're welcome, love. Thank you. And by all means, folks,
VJ, now I lay me down to sleep.
Listen to that.
Lord, my soul to keep.
I got my own theme song.
If I die before I wake. VJ.
Put little kibbles and bits in the bowl.
Right through it all.
I can use it. Say it loud. Say it proud.
If I die before I wake.
VJ.
VJ.
That's what I'm talking about. I could use a little kibble bits in the bowl. That's up to you. It's been a fun night, Jake. OMG, I'll feed you, Jake. I'm sorry. I've been so emotional because of Precious. I hear you, sweetheart. I understand that. I hadn't said nothing. I just got to do my thing. You know how it is. Walter says, I guess, unfortunately for America, I'm pretty healthy. Are you saying that if you got terminal, you'd go terminal? You'd hit terminal velocity? Don't do that. One thing I know for certain is that things will work itself out. Nothing is so bad that it can't be fixed. But I also know that we're getting close to the end. Things are happening. We are in the tribulation as we speak. Things are going on in this world that are signifying that the end is coming. May not happen in our lifetimes. I'm not giving you a doomsday date or anything like that. I'm just telling you that we're on the backside of being here. So some bad stuff is going to happen. Like there's going to come a time at some point where you might be able to be beheaded for being a Christian and not going back on your beliefs. And if you're not careful, they'll get you. So you're supposed to be wiser than serpents. Keep that in mind when you go forth into the world. You ain't got to state your business. You ain't got to die on a hill. What's in your heart's good enough. But even the Bible says that when you see these things happening, flee away from the Jerusalem. Just get away from the cities. Because people are crazy. April says, I'm sorry, I'll send love tonight. OMG, I never sent anything, did I? It's all right, I understand. Walter says, yes, if I was told I'm done, I'm going out, making a difference. Well, I'll root for you from the sidelines. Out of range, of course. April says, I know I didn't. I'll send something on CashApp. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that, and I could use it. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Walter says, meanwhile, I raise foster kids and showing them the true God. That's excellent. And you keep showing it to them. MVTV says, your heart is true, April. I've endured witness to unbelievable tragedy in hospitals and worked them okay, but if it involves animals, I'm useless. I do understand that. April says, that's right, hon. I am too, Walter, for sure, says April. Well, I just have the two kids, and I did the best I could by them, and I tried to show them God and reality and all that, and the government got in the way, and because I'm a single dad, I didn't fare very well in the courts, and it was kind of a joke, and it was kind of humiliating, and it was kind of embarrassing. But they ended up with their mother. But they were already nearly grown when that happened, so I got the best part anyway. Walter says, my 11-year-old was showing me the Bible verse today that he thought was cool. Makes life worth living. That's awesome. You keep raising them kids the right way, and if they get grown enough that they can handle it, bring them on and let them watch the podcast on Sundays and Mondays. I'll show them a thing or two. But your job is to lead them to God. It's their job to hang on when you get them there. But you know how it is. Dana says, I am too, Walter, for sure. Walter Davis. You guys are awesome. Y'all know that, right? That's inspiring, and I love that, says April. It is inspiring to see young people grasping onto the Bible. So few of them today are getting that opportunity, and so few of their parents are guiding them in the right direction for fear of being ostracized. And I say to you, do not be afraid of that, because nobody cares what anybody else thinks. You teach your children what's right. MVTV says, no kids for me. I screwed up enough in other ways to end up alone. Cherish your families. Amen. Walter says, that's why I'm not 6 foot under a bunch of times. That's right. Dana says, Walter Davis. Heart. That's the symbol right there. WC. It's nothing short of awesome, says April. Well, all right, boys and girls, it's 10 o'clock, 11 past, and I'm starting to melt and molt and get ready for bed. So I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the great conversation tonight. Thank you for listening to me hammer on the old guitar. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Come Friday, Untethered Live over on Rumble, and see what we're doing over there. It's exciting. It's new. It's interesting. And it's growing. So I've made 2 pennies on Rumble already. 2 cents. That's more than I ever made on YouTube, barring donations. I mean, the platform. So that's potential. That's something, you know. Maybe if my videos get enough views, I can make $1. That'd be fantastic. Kind of shocking, too. Anyway, go check it out. It's awesome. And there's going to be some new stuff over there that only for over there. YouTube ain't going to get it. My new show, Methed Up Gators, coming. You might want to check that out. It's going to be hilarious. All the good stuff. Only stuff you can see in Florida, nowhere else. Dana says, heart and prayers. Thank you, Dana. Walter says, the kids need a role model. Even if it's a broken down old guy that probably drinks too much. Hey, don't be talking about that like, don't talk about me like that. I don't drink. April says, mwah. Hugs, lots of love. God bless us all. Sweet dreams, y'all. Thank you, April. Walter says, and didn't sleep. That's me. That's a start, Jake. Woohoo. It is a start, and I can't wait to see it happen. I've been working at this, 5 years now, 6 years? It's about time it starts turning a profit. Kevin does, LOL. Kevin drinks. I'm not on Rumble, only on YouTube. Well, you can fix that. Just go over to Google Play and download the Rumble app. And go to Untethered Live, and then you'll be on Rumble. Walter says, in moderation, sort of. All things in moderation, even moderation. Sometimes you got to moderate your moderation. You get hammered. April says, he's been under the weather. I'm keeping my distance. Oh, no. Well, I hope he feels better. Make sure he gets lots of drink, lots of liquid, and lots of rest. Maybe it'll pass over. Hope it ain't COVID. Fact, LOL. Yeah. Well, Dana, if you don't come over to Rumble, I understand that. But I think you'll like it. If you get a chance, come check us out. But the Bible stuff is here. So whichever you like. I don't have a smartphone. Oh, do you have a laptop? Maybe we need to send you one. I'll pray for Kevin, says Walter. Thank you. He probably needs it. Well, if you can get on Rumble, if you can get on YouTube, surely you can do Rumble. I think we had this conversation. I think you told me you were on a laptop. But just go to the website. Just type in rumble.com/untetheredlive and go over that way. And it's the same as YouTube. But you don't have to go if you don't want to. It's just the only thing happening over there, like all my Bible studies are over there, but I'll go live on YouTube with the Bible studies. But over on Rumble, it's just the ChillStream on Friday nights is live. So, and also the new shows that are coming up after the new comedy show that I'm working on will be over there and not here. But for the Bible study stuff live, I'll be right here. I have a laptop and also a desktop for my business where you can go just open up a browser and just type in rumble.com/untetheredlive and it'll take you there and you can subscribe to it just like you did YouTube and it'll work just exactly the same way. If you wish, you don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to. If you want to see extra stuff that don't get shown or hear me say things that I can't say on YouTube, that's the place to do it. Because they are definitely censoring me on YouTube. They have throttled my account to the point where it stopped growing, which is why I went to Rumble. So I'm building that platform, and it's already caught up to YouTube, so now I just need to go further and build it up over there. But because I'm right-leaning and a Christian, they don't like to push my stuff out, so I can't grow unless it's word of mouth. Like you guys could bring people to the show, but they're not going to recommend my show to strangers. So that's why I'm jumping over to Rumble. Are you going to stream on YouTube on Friday? No, I'll be on Rumble Friday. But Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, I'll be here on YouTube. April says he's already had that. Eek. I'm not going there. Ugh. Geez. That was scary when he did have COVID. But he was in the hospital almost 2 weeks. Thank God was watching over him. Amen. Walter says, April, if he has the deep cough, get frankincense and a mister. Have him breathe in it. A mister. Like a vaporizer. And have him breathe in the frankincense. It's the first thing the wise men have Jesus in the manger. Gave Jesus in the manger. Yeah, but they gave them that because it was a symbol of royalty, not because it's good for a cough. Frankincense was very expensive in those days because spices have to go by camel to all the places. It only comes from one area, so it costs a lot to have that. So they gave him frankincense as a symbol of royalty, and also myrrh and gold. Myrrh is also a spice. So 2 spices and a precious metal because he was royalty. April says, I was taking precautions, believe me. What's that? Frankincense is a spice. Where do I get that? Probably one of those herbal stores. Oh, okay. Anywhere that sells oils, like the black people wear the oils. It's like perfume, but they make it. Anywhere you can get that, you can probably get frankincense there. Anywhere that sells, what's the word? Incense. Anywhere you buy incense probably has frankincense. I'll look for it, says April. Walter says, it clears the lungs. They traveled across the desert. Yes, on the Silk Road. For any of you people interested in finding out the route of how all the spices came out across the world, the Silk Road is where they came from. And all the cities that are on that route were trade cities. Oh, okay, that's awesome, says April. Walter says, I was going to send some to Jake, but he got better. Well, you can't keep a good man down. That's a fact. And this is absolutely no shots, absolutely no mask, absolutely no hand washing with antibacterial soap. I fought it like a man, and I won. Dana says, I bought a frankincense in Egypt. I never used it yet. Well, now you've got it just in case. You've been to Egypt? That's fantastic. Do you have pictures? Will you share them? April says, oh, wow. Yeah, I would love to go to Egypt. Not right now because they're in the middle of a war, but I would love to go to Egypt. Did you get to see the pyramids and stuff? Were you on that route, or were you elsewhere in Egypt? That's amazing, says April. I got so many cool friends. I've never been anywhere like that. I'd love to go to Egypt. I'd love to go to Scotland. I'd love to go to England. I'd love to go to Jerusalem. Lots of places I'd like to go. I'd like to go to Antarctica and prove that we live on a flat world. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's 10:20, and I got to go to bed. I got to get up early and go to work in the morning. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to do this again. I'll see you guys on Friday over on Rumble. Have a great night. God bless you all. May all your dreams come true. May all your fantasies be real. May all your bills get paid, and may all your ingrown toenails not hurt anymore. I love you. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.